if one can try to see through other people's eyes, through different lenses, look at one's own experience through those different lenses. And it's a whole way of experiencing and looking at life. Because of the history of Irish education and because of the type of primary education system we traditionally have had, it has tended to be exclusive in the sense that it separates children of different religions and cultures and backgrounds into different schools. Society, less homogenous than it had been in the past, that the society's the diversity of society would be reflected in the philosophy of the school. So that was really the global aspect, and the global challenge for us was to ensure that our curriculum, and indeed both the formal and the informal and the hidden curriculum, was, as I say, equally respectful of children from all over the world. The ethical education curriculum undoubtedly pushes people into a more global and international view of life. The realization that really it is just one seamless world where we are all interacting all the time with each other, and to get that sense and that appreciation early on is very important for young people, in my view. And so basically the challenge for us was to develop a program, a specific ethical education program, which was, as I say, inclusive. It didn't exist in Ireland, but of course I was aware from my comparative education studies that that type of program did exist in some shape or form in many other countries. So it was a combination of looking at what was available elsewhere, working with the teachers here in Ireland, in our schools, and building up gradually over time a program that was, on the one hand, inclusive of all religious backgrounds and ethnic and cultural backgrounds, and on the other hand was particularly sensitive to the Irish context. The approaches to be used in the case of global education or ethical education are somewhat different to the more traditional talk and chalk type approaches that would perhaps be typical of some of the secular subjects. Pupils do the teaching and the teachers do the listening. The teacher must recognise that she's not the sage on the stage, she's down there among the children, learning with them. At that time, 40 years ago, we had a very much a subject-based curriculum. There was no subject that would embrace global education in the sense that we would now understand it today. I mean, as the years have gone on, there have of course been other developments nationally in the national curriculum, but nothing that quite reflects the Educate Together ethical education curriculum. I mean, Educate Together, because it had to develop its own curriculum, because it was coming very much from the ground up, and because it was so informed by parents and by communities, different types of communities, I think it is fairly unique from an international perspective. I mean, curriculum traditionally in countries around the world, in Western countries, has been a top-down, government-imposed, and that's true all over the world, because schooling really is a form of social control. It reflects the ideology of the state, whereas the ethical education curriculum doesn't reflect the ideology of the state at all. I'm not saying it's against the state, it's not at all, but it's coming from the bottom up. It's coming from what the children, their parents, their teachers, what they see on the ground. So it has no, in that sense, it's not ideologically driven in a negative sense. The children are very likely to become involved in campaigns of various kinds for rights, the rights of others, to understand those rights, to do things, to go out and work with and for underprivileged people. And from an international perspective, it's very, very unusual that such a basic part of child's learning. In other words, the understanding of others, the otherness of their friends and colleagues, that this has had to have been developed on a voluntary basis by a group of parents and teachers working together with no input at all from the state development. So getting recognition now of this programme, and one would hope, the resources that would follow it, not just from the award itself, but from the state, because of the recognition this would get internationally, I think would be very helpful.